you've been concerned about voter fraud. Not that there's a huge amount of voter fraud, but that's important to your role. Could you talk about that?
The Secretary of State is the head of the elections division for the entire state. And so we're responsible to assure that every eligible voter has the opportunity to vote, that no one else does, and that the people can have trust in our voting system. So when I was asked back in December about our system, I got into office in January and checked into it, and I felt that we have one of the most honest and fair and open systems that you can have, that exist in the country. That I've gone to many of the counties, and I will go to all of the counties to see how they process ballots on election day, but I'm convinced that the tabulation is correct. But in any voting situation, you have both the tabulation of ballots on election day and also to ensure that only eligible voters are voting. And so recently, Oregon was involved with 4 other states in doing a test to see how our voters are doing and whether or not they're following the law. What we found in that test was that 46 Oregonians are voting not only, at least in November of 2016, voted in Oregon, but also voted in another state. And that's a crime. We found an absolute miracle occurred. 6 deceased individuals were still able to vote. So we're checking into that to see whether or not we have a miracle, or maybe we've got some member of a household that is continuing to vote even though their relative has passed away. It's important for the citizens to know that we're checking these things. And we found that 2 Oregon voters voted twice in Oregon last November. Now what's important to realize that represents about 1 out of 38,000 Oregon voters. And so it's very low. So the percentage we've been able to discover so far is really just 0.002%. And so it shows that we don't have flagrant problems with people voting in multiple locations in the same election. But what's important is that everyone understands that we're checking, and that if they break the law, you know, if you do the crime, you're going to have to do the time. And so we've turned all 54 cases over to the Attorney General for criminal investigation, because if the facts show that there was intent to commit voter fraud, then there will be criminal sanctions against them.